Hey everyone, my name is Jessica, and I'd like to welcome you to our masterclass on building with the PhotoBiz website builder. In this session, we'll walk through the entire process from setting up your site and choosing a template to using building blocks. So you'll be ready to launch in minutes, not days. Even better, if you're already a PhotoBiz customer, this is a great opportunity to discover our latest features or explore tools you may not have used yet. I'm really excited to be here with you today. Let's get started. The first thing I like to do when we get started is actually upload our branding. So we'll slide over to the left side menu and we'll click on branding. Here you'll be able to upload your logo right away. So I'm just gonna pull it over. I'm gonna drag and drop it in something generic for now, Jane Doe Studios, perfect. And then we could go straight to build the website. But before we do that, I also like to add our files. So this is a great way to go ahead and start organizing your files before you get started. So let's click on Files, and here you can see that you have a main folder, but you can create folders as you go. So I'm just gonna upload some images directly here. So I'm gonna click on the upload icon, and then I'm also going to drag and drop images directly in here as well. Give it a few minutes to process, and then once they're in there, we'll also organize this file section. We call this the clipboard. The clipboard is great because you can use these images anywhere on your website multiple times. And it doesn't take away from the photo count that you have in your account. So if you have this many images uploaded, say I want to use this one 3 times on the website, it won't be used 3 times, it'll just use it the once, and you can use it throughout the website however you want to. So once your images are uploaded, you can see I have an assortment of different types of images, some family ones, some model ones, some senior photos. So we want to manage our folders, so let's go up here. We're going to click on Manage Folders. Here we're going to create some new folders. We're going to create one called Seniors. And then we'll go back to our main, we'll select all our senior photos and we'll go ahead and start moving them over. We'll say go over to move and we'll select the seniors option. And you see the remainder is family, but I'm going to go ahead and create a folder called family. This is just going to help later. Back to our main source. Then I'm going to just select all these, much easier, right? Then choose family and move our images. So now we've got this a little bit more manageable, and this is going to help with organization down the line. Trust me, it's nice to get it out of the way so you don't have to think about it later. Okay, so now we can actually start doing the fun part, and that is building your website. So go over to the left side menu and click on Website. Here you'll see all the templates that are available to choose from. You're going to see different styles, different things like that, so you can choose which one you want to kind of start with. Maybe you like how Billy looks. You can click on the preview, you can see how it loads. You're like, oh wow, this is really beautiful, I love how this looks. If this is where you want to start at, you can totally select it, or if you want to keep browsing, you can do that as well. Once you find a style that you like, you can hit select. So let's see what another one looks like. We'll take a look at Austin. Big, bold, I love the way it's laid out. So think about how your style is, how you want to present it. You can always change all these templates to fit any style of photography you do, but just look at how the menu is placed, where the logo is placed, and where your social media icons are placed. Those are unique to each of the templates. Oh, I love how it does that. Isn't that cool? So if this is where you want to start at, you can totally start here. So let's go back over. You know, I want to start something with a little bit light. So let's start with Billy. I'm going to hit select and click yes, and then click create site. Now what's going to happen is the website's going to self-generate itself in the website builder area. And then it's going to add placeholder content. Now this placeholder content selects gray images. These gray images you can replace with your own, and we already have some uploaded through Clipboard, so it's going to work out great. You can see there's building your website overview. If you need to know how to build your website, you can watch this tutorial here. And here's how it loads in. You can see all those images that were there in the template are no longer there. They're placeholders. Great, now we're ready to get started. But before we actually jump in, let's talk about what the website builder itself is. This is the website building area. This is the live area. You'll see to the left, you have your navigation. These are all your pages. You can drag and drop in any order that you want by just picking them up and dragging them, and it'll change the order in the menu. We can click here to watch the website being built. You can see how it is right now. So if we were to make that change again, let's get rid of some of these pages. I'm just going to put the blog in front of portfolio. So if we go here, hit refresh, you can see they swapped order. You can also rename pages by clicking on the pencil and then just changing it. So if you want to say about me instead, you could do that. There you go, easy. Now this also changes the link. So it is now your about me versus just our about. So think about that. You can always change this for SEO purposes to make this actually just say about, but we'll come to that later. So this is our navigation. You also have a footer set section. You can click here to see the footer. You can also modify the footer here by their blocks as well. And say you delete some pages, those deleted pages will go here as well. You can restore them if you need to, up to the last 15 pages, or you can delete forever. Also on the left side is this tab. When you click New Page, you have the option to create a new page. When you click that, you'll see all the types of pages that you can create. You can start with a blank one, or we have pre-designed pages available to choose from. So if there's a layout that you like from maybe a home page, you can select that one, and that could be a new custom page that you've created. We also have different layouts such as about pages, gallery pages, e-commerce pages for selling, contact pages, and some others. And these others are social links. So if you need to create something that is a social media page on your own social media channel, so when people click there, they can see all your links to specific things on your website, booking options, or even highlighting off-site links like articles about you and things like that. These are great ways to distribute that. You also have booking page options, landing page options, and under construction pages if you want to. So you can still get some lead generation while you're building something. All these options are available right from the start. Also in this tab, you have the ability to create drop-down menus and external links. So if you're doing something to maybe use a different clientele or a booking option, you can hotlink it right here. Also to the far right, you have the block menu and settings. Before we dive into the block options, let's quickly take a look at the settings available. Here you have the option to copy pages, which can be really useful if you want to duplicate a layout you've already created. When you click on a page, you can choose to copy it with all its content intact or modify it as needed. Additionally, you can control the visibility of each page. You have options such as visible, hidden, or disabled. A hidden page can only be accessed if someone has the direct link, while a disabled page is completely inactive. This is helpful for pages you might be working on but aren't ready to publish just yet. Next, you have SEO settings here. You'll be able to see your SEO settings right now set to auto, but you can customize this however you like. Click Custom here and you'll be able to see the options available. If you need any help, you can always ask PhotoBiz AI. Ask PhotoBiz AI is really important, especially when it comes to creating content for your website pages. It's going to streamline the process. For example, I'm going to use these prompts as a way to start. My name is Jane Doe Studios. I have a senior and family portrait studio in Greensboro, North Carolina. Once you've done that, it'll take care of the rest and generate text. Let's see it in action. You can see it has now generated the text, Senior and Family Portrait Studios in Greensboro, North Carolina, Jane Doe Studios. You can see how it's integrated everything. Now we do have character counters. This is also what Google recognizes as its preferred amount. So if you need to make any tweaks, you can. You can see this is almost perfect. So maybe if it's just Jane Doe Studio, you could do it that way, or you might want to change something down the line. It's up to you. You can also see the meta descriptions here. Capture timeless moments with Jane Doe Studio in Greensboro, NC, specializing in senior and family portraits to cherish your memories forever. Awesome. Maybe you just want to change a few words like timeless moments or cherish. Simple enough. Going to hit Save Changes. Now you'll see above, this is the preview section for the SEO. This is how it's going to be viewed in search engines. This looks perfect. Also, in this tab, you have the ability to see the friendly URL. Again, you can change this if you want to. It's set to auto, but you can customize it if you want to. We were talking about that earlier with the About Me page. You can easily change that here to be like, instead of home, it could be start or welcome or whatever you want. You also have tracking data, so if you need to put any analytics on this page or any code, you can also add that directly here as well. This doesn't do a global section, it does it just to this page itself. All right, then you have the settings here. You can modify the settings of this page directly by changing its name, its visibility, if this page needs to be password protected, and if you'd like to display the header and footer on this page. The only time I usually turn these off is when I'm creating landing page experiences that I'm using on social media channels, but these are great options when you need them. Below that is the block menu. Here's where all the building blocks you use to create your website are located. You'll have title options, text plus image combined, image options, banner options, list items, which are great for text, also images and video blocks if you're going to display your blog or video content. If you're uploading video banners or video directly from YouTube, you can do that here as well. Forms, you can display your forms directly by adding this block in. Dividers, we have tons of different looks you can choose from that make it more unique to your brand. Button options, you can select a button. HTML code. So if you have a specific code from a third party or something you want to add to the website, you can do that directly here. If you're selling items directly on your website, you can use the products options. You can also sell services directly here. If you want to add a booking option to your website, you can utilize a scheduling block. Gift cards, if you want to allow gift card sales, display client galleries if you're allowing customers to log in directly from your website. There's a map option to display a map on your contact sections and FAQ blocks where you can upload FAQs, but you can also use this block to create unique looks and experiences. Definitely love this block because you can make it do anything you want really at the end of the day. Okay, let's take a look at the website builder area. You can see this is where everything loaded in properly with the colors and everything that was there. You can see it's pretty much a one-to-one breakout version of what's loaded in. So of course you would go through here and modify it as you go to fit your branding. Maybe the colors don't match properly or something like that, but this is where you can go. You can see since we uploaded our branding, our logo is already directly displayed here. It looks fantastic. If you want to add or modify blocks, that's really simple. To add a block, all you have to do is click the block you choose and it'll load in right at the bottom. You can also add blocks by just dragging and dropping. So maybe you wanted to add that text and title block directly here. You can just drag it to the website builder area. When you do that, you'll see lines highlight. That means it can squeeze right in. You can then modify the block by clicking on it and then adding whatever information you prefer. Each block is going to have its own styling and settings that you can modify, such as styling it. Like if the text is center aligned, how much thickness is in between the blocks, what's the color of the blocks, text color of the blocks, is there a background texture? And if there are font options, you can modify that too. To delete a block, you can go over here, click on the pencil, and you get either copy a block, go to its settings, or delete it. Some blocks can go side by side. So, say a button block. I can add a button and add a secondary button if I want to. They can stack over top one another or right next to one another. Test out which blocks work. This will help with duo building. Duo building is when you can create experiences by combining different options together. So you might want to have a button next to a text, or text next to an image, or text next to a banner. Here's a banner next to a text section. Okay, our website's pretty much built the way we want it to for now. If we want to add options, we totally can do that later, but let's just see what the experience is like, just filling in the blanks of what's currently here. Click on the block you want to modify first. We're just going to click on this banner block here. You see there's some test placeholder information. You can click here. You can see there's some title and text and stuff like that. You can either delete this completely by just dragging and dropping it to the delete, or you can modify it by uploading your own images that will come in sequentially. So this will come next. Other blocks allow you to change the order. Maybe you want this block to come first instead of this one. So we'll just name this one 1 for now so we can see the order, and we'll name this one 2. If I want 2 to display before 1, I can do that by just dragging and dropping in any order that I prefer. All right, let's modify this block. It's already got some text and I kind of like it. So we're going to click on it. We're going to just modify it. Instead of saying seaside, we're going to put Greensboro. We're going to hit Save Changes. Awesome. Now let's go to our clipboard. Let's add a nice family photo here. I really love this one right here. Let's select it. Now let's take a look at it in the live preview. Gorgeous, absolutely stunning. It fits right in, and then you can start modifying the text as you go. You can see there's an experience at Luxury Family Photography in Seaside Cove, California, dedicated to capturing special moments. So I'm going to modify this. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. I can ask PhotoBiz AI to write something completely new, or I can modify what's there. So I'm going to copy this so we can see and show the different experiences. First, I'm going to make it write something completely new. Write a welcome message for Jane Doe Studio, a senior and family photographer in Greensboro, North Carolina. Now we're just going to write this and let it generate the text. So now we have some text, and you can modify the text. Maybe there's some tweaks that you want to do to it. You can totally do that until you get the look that you're going for. You can see how it's made itself look pretty nice. You can then modify the text however you want to. You can change the size by going to a different size. So we'll just make this a header 2. And that looks really nice. Then you can make other modifications. Perhaps you want to put this title in the title section. And then have the rest of this text still be that header 2. Now header 2 looks about the same size as this title text. We can make those modifications. First, let's update our button. It says Learn More. Where do you want it to go to? We're going to make it go to the About Me page. Perfect. You can choose different layouts. I like the way it's done right now, so we're going to keep it on one column. You can change the stylings if you prefer. We would like our title and our button alignment to be centered, so that looks great. You can change the thickness of these areas if you want to. So maybe if I want to go a little bit thicker, let's see what that looks like. You see it just pushed it in a little bit more squeeze. This is the perfect size, I think. Looks great. Now for this, there's a button animation option. Right now it's set to none, so when you roll over, there's no effect. So we'll go back over to it. You see when we roll over, nothing happens. So if we want to make this special, let's go back over to our button options. You have different types: fill, overlay, scale, and arrow effects. Let's just do a fill option. Now let's go back to our colors, and you'll see that there's button options here. You can modify them. So the button contrast color is set to white. Let's see what happens now when we do this. There we go. Beautiful. And of course, you can change this to match your branding however you want to. It just adds a little bit more design element to it and a little gravitas to it. Just makes it feel richer on the page when you see that slight little bit of animation. Subtlety goes a long way. Now we have the section filled out, but what if we wanted to take something that already exists? Maybe you already have an existing website and you want to make a modification to something that you've had for a while, but you just don't know how to make it, richer and sound better. At the end of the day, we want to make sure it sounds good. What you can do is simply click on the block. You can copy the section if there's text already there. You can go to Ask PhotoBiz AI, click on that, and we can say revise this section to be about Greensboro, North Carolina, and make it friendly. You can say something like that. There we go, and we're going to hit generate text. So now it has edited this section here for a little bit more details. You could do that. We can take this back up to the section above and then make this a little bit richer as well, and you can see how it's working, right? So if we're going to modify this, we're going to make this header that, and you can modify it if you prefer to. Then you can also modify the paragraph text or heading text if you prefer as well. Let's go to here. Let's turn this on. Just add a little bit more elegance to the page, right? Let's just do that. I'm going to change the line spacing a little bit just to give it more gravitas. We want these words to really resonate with our readers. And there we go. Two different experiences, but kind of creating the same thing. We said create something completely fresh, and then we said create something that already exists, revise it. So you can see it added details about Greensboro, North Carolina, and we said make it friendly. So here you go. You have two options. Pick which one you prefer and go with that. I'm going to remove this one for now because we already have one here, but I really like that. But the rest of our text is kind of utilizing this, so we're going to stick with it. All right, let's go to our next section. This block here, you see that it's utilizing a couple things. A background color, some nice large font, a button, an image, and a bordering background. So let's take a look at what's going on. We're going to change the name, and you can see that there's some just placeholder text. What can we do to make this more attractive? So I'm going to say ask PhotoBiz AI, and you can see that this is set to header 1 and this is paragraph 1. I like the way it looks, but it needs to say something more about us. Okay, we're going to say generate text. We're just talking about family and senior photo experiences you can have with me across the Triad area. Once that's there, then we can modify the text. Okay, you can see it was very robust, but I want to trim this down. I'm going to say make this short. I am going to copy this. I'm going to say make this 100 characters, so maybe we're going to remove some sections that we don't need. Perfect, and you keep modifying it until you get the experience that you like, but I wanted it to be very short and sweet. I'm just going to modify the header 1 text to be a little bit smaller. There we go. Now let's modify the image. We have the placeholder here, so if we have an image of ourselves, we can upload one directly here or something from our clipboard. So just go through it, select something that you prefer. I'm just going to click on seniors, and for this one I'm going to choose something that's kind of in the vein of the same colors and stuff. So let's see how this image looks. Wow, that really fit really well. Now let's look at it in the live website. Hit refresh and it's gorgeous. I love it. Now how can we enhance this button? Again, we're utilizing that effect here. Let's use it here as well. Click on the block, go to your animations, click fill, and now let's see how it performs. Awesome. It just makes it look more luxurious, and that's what we want. We want it to be a way for customers to think we spent a lot of money on our website. They don't know how much $29 a month is, so this makes it look more attractive and very easy and accessible. Little subtle tweaks like that really make it fun. You can choose different layouts for this block type here. You just kind of go through the different looks that you like. Right now, it's using image overlay with the text on the right. You can flip-flop it if you prefer, or go completely a different style altogether. I like what was selected, so let's keep it at that. Styling-wise, you can text wrap if you need to. You can change the title alignment. If there is any image border thickness, which is really cool, let's see what that does. We're going to add just a little extra to this. Let's just add a thin one. You can see that there's a little bit. Now let's hit refresh just to add a little bit dynamic design to it. You can modify this however you want to. You can make it medium, thick, ultra thin. If I made it thick, you can see what it's doing. Color-wise, you can then see the options available. If you need to change any colors, such as the background, if you want it to be a rich color, you can do that. If you want the border color to be a completely different color, you can do that as well. So maybe I want it to be more of this tone here. It just makes it feel like it's popping off the screen now. And then you have your button options, of course, that we've created. If you want the background section here to be a different color as well, you can modify that too. go from the cream to that darker tone. It's really up to you when it comes to the design. We have all the elements here, so you can make the choices as you go. Let me set it back to that cream. Now we're getting somewhere. This page is really starting to come to life. Now let's just kind of modify things as we go. So we've got family event stuff. Now we can talk about seniors if we want to, anything like that. You just kind of go through here. We're going to rotate, we're going to remove all these, and then we're going to add our own. So let's just have some rotating images. Going to select these two, and then we're going to select two more. And then we can mix up the order. I want it to go family, senior, family, senior. Now let's reload this section and we can see how it's performing. So as we scroll, people come through the website. They'll see these sections. This section kind of just rotates on its own, creates this dynamic visual, and then they can jump over to different portfolios if you have multiple pages or multiple options directly here. You can have those options set up, easy enough. And of course, you can then modify the font, the text within here directly by asking PhotoBiz AI or adding your own content. If you're going to display blog posts, you can see how they'll display. You'll want to make sure that when you upload anything with a blog and display it on your website, that you have an image to correspond with it. Then you have more options down here. So we have a couple more banners to fill out. So let's go here. Let's just change them out. I like the text here again, so we're going to keep it, and this time we're going to change it to, we already have a big family one, so let's choose a senior one. Now you can see with a banner this size, not all of her is going to be displayed. Now you can modify that if you want to. You can change this with different settings for banners. You have mobile options. So if you want a mobile banner image to display differently, you can totally do that. We could have this image display differently if we want it to here. So when we go and look at it on a mobile device, which we will momentarily, this image will display versus this image. You can have that as unique experiences. Or maybe you want a vertical image to display on mobile, but on desktop you want a more horizontal image. You can modify it that way. We're going to change the context about family. We're going to just make it about senior and add some little context. There we go. Book now. You can then modify the layout again if you want it full screen, if you want the mobile layout to be different. You can choose between the two, so you can have your desktop look, you can have your mobile look selected. You also have carousel options. If you want a carousel of rotating images, you can choose different layouts for that. If you want images not to crop, you can also select those options. You can also add color behind those options as well. I like the way it's displayed right now, so I'm going to keep it as is. You can also modify the overlay opacity for this type of banner. So if you want it to be darker, you can choose that. If you want it to be lighter with no opacity, you can always modify these as you go. I'm going to keep it on 35. You can use animations if you need to. It just adds a scrolling parallax animation to it. I like it, so I'm going to turn it on. Then let's go to our colors. You can see what colors are available. We have our overlay set to dark. I prefer it that way. I just think it looks more attractive. And then we have our text options. We can modify this however we want again. And then we have animation options. We've been utilizing a lot of animations such as the fill, so we're going to choose that one. Now let's take a look at our block. So now with the scrolling effect, you can see there's a slight scroll animation when we go up and down right there. Looks really nice, and now we have our button animation. Now I want to modify it just a touch. So our button contrast color can come up. I'm going to make it this color. And then I'm going to make it this color. There we go. Perfect. And then we have our newsletter down here. So now we've got this home page built, and you can radically do this to any other page on your website. So let's go ahead and finish out adding any other images that we want to. If we want to have something that looks more Instagram friendly, we can add images here. I'm going to remove these, and I'm just going to add some from a clipboard to give it a little bit of variety. Same thing on this side. There we go. So now this page is looking really nice and flush at the bottom. Great, we built our first page. This is our home page. Now we've modified the texts. We've updated blog posts. We've updated our information here. How are we going to add it? This is our page, and it's looking really strong. We'll want to update the About Me page here. You want to replace the content in there just like we did the home page. Replacing the banner image, we can choose something from your clipboard or upload directly here. You can delete the image in the placeholder, upload what you'd like. I'm just going to select one of our images from a clipboard. Perfect. Then you'll want to change any context here. Again, you can always ask PhotoBiz AI or change anything directly here on the page. The context here already works, so we'll keep it. We might want to modify the story here and see there's different layout and options to choose from. So I'm just going to select a different layout to see what it looks like, maybe something with a circle. Again, upload an image or select something from your clipboard. You can also modify the focal point when necessary. That looks really nice, and then we're just going to change some things. We're just going to ask PhotoBiz AI to assist us in writing the story that we want by putting in some information. Then we'll click Generate Text when ready. Okay, that you're going, I still want to modify this and reduce it even further. So I'm going to redact some information, then hit Save Changes. Here, you can see how it looks. If it feels too long, you can do a couple of different things. You could either edit and modify, or you can even do text wrapping to get the desired look that you're going for. I'm just going to shorten it a bit by editing. You can modify colors, change the backgrounds, update the fonts, and add animations if you prefer. Maybe we want to add a button here. We're going to send it to our gallery, and we'll select which page. I'll choose where it goes to. Then we want to modify the colors to make sure it looks perfect. We've been using the fill option, so let's keep that on. That's good, there we go. And just keep changing things as you go. You can build your website in less than an hour. You can have it complete by the end of the day. Isn't that awesome? Modify the FAQs as you go. Add your own content as you go. Change the layouts as well. Maybe you want this to look more like cards or a numbered list. You can have it selected this way as well, or something more down the line like this. You select it, you make it, you're ready to go. This page is pretty much done. Of course, you could change the text there too, but everything else is rapidly being built. Now let's look at the portfolio. You have multiple ways you can set up a portfolio. You could have all your images of a single style directly in one, or you can create multiple ones. So if we're going to create two, I would create a drop-down menu. I would call it portfolio, then I would create 2 pages within that. I'm going to reuse this old portfolio one. I'm going to rename it, I'm going to call it Seniors. We're going to put it inside. When we hover over it, it drops down, as you can see. And then I'm going to also copy this page. We're going to call it Families. There we go. Now they're both in one place. Then you can make modifications. So if we go back to Seniors, we'll change it to say Portfolio Seniors. And then the Family one will change to say Family. We want to make sure it's cohesive and it all looks the same. That's the most important part. Now we want to change out the images that are here. You can see there's a ton here. We recommend about 30 to 50 images, no more. You could replace these easily by just removing all the placeholders. Let's get those out. And of course, if I had more images, I would upload them directly in, but I'm just going to use the ones that we have for today. So for Seniors, selecting those, they're in, you see how they displayed. Right now we have it set up for portrait mode, but you can go through and modify it. Maybe you want something like a pin board. This is our most popular one. So you could have a pin board layout where it stacks like that. You also have different options. Maybe you want to do a collage. You can select collage. When you're doing that, you can kind of see how it displays, right? So it's really how impactful you want your galleries to be. And of course, you can modify it as you go, however you want to. Say I want to keep this style, I'm going to keep this style here. And then you have your buttons and options here at the bottom. So let's go back to our portfolio options. Seniors. Gorgeous, simple enough. And of course, what if you don't want these borders in between? That's easy to fix too. Go to your styling, you can turn it all the way off if you want to. So now they're all flushed with one another, feels kind of modern that way. But also, what looks really modern is something like thick or medium. Stunning, love it, keeping that. Then you'd want to do something identical to the family one. You could either just delete this block, start from scratch, or you can start with something that already exists. I'm going to copy this block because I like the way we've laid it out. I'm going to drag it to our family page. Yes, you can drag blocks to different pages as well. Click on family. You can see here it is. I'm going to pull it up, make sure it's exactly like the other. Going to pull this one block up just above it. Then we're going to remove the images in here. Go to our clipboard, select family, and then they're on display. So now we click on family, there they are. And of course, add more images as you go, but you can see you can modify the settings however you like to display the images, however you like in any way that you want. Maybe you want it to be more impactful this way. You can turn on load more options. Last items are like if there's more images, this keeps the lazy loading or smart loading in. So if you have a lot of images, more than 30 or 50, you can have this on, and this will basically keep those images and loading, so especially on mobile devices, it doesn't slow down the experience for your user. Or you can turn it off completely. Maybe you only have a few images like we do, and we just want to display it like that. Okay, so this page is really coming out. We got our About page set up. We have our portfolio set up. Our blogs are in there. We can modify them however we want to. We have a client section, so if you want clients to be able to see their galleries, they could have that. You just have to make sure you have uploaded content for those. Once it goes there, they'll go to a section where they can log in and go directly to their photos. Super simple. And then we have our contact page. Let's take a look at that. We're using more of an airy display with our design here, so we can easily modify that. Just remove this and just add our 3 images. So maybe something like this one and then 2 others for our senior section. Maybe we select this one and then this one. There we go, and of course I can rearrange this however I want to. Maybe I want this one to be first. You could have it done that way, and then modify other things such as the focal point. Now let's take a look at it in the live preview. It's looking great, very clean and consistent. If you want to add a form to your contact page, you can do so by dragging and dropping a form block from the block menu. Now that we're here, let's move on. To review how your website looks on different devices, click on the Design tab in the top menu. This will let you see how your website appears on desktop, mobile, and tablet. Being able to view your site across different devices anytime helps ensure that your design decisions result in a site that looks great everywhere. If you notice any issues, you can easily go back to the website builder area to make adjustments. For example, I want to fix this banner by changing the focal point. Let's go ahead and update it so the focus is on the people sitting. Once we've made that change, we'll go back to the Design tab and select the mobile phone view. As you can see, it looks much better now. What's really nice is that you can preview how everything performs. As we scroll through the mobile preview, everything looks pretty good, but I want to adjust the padding on a couple of sections to make it look less cramped. To do this, I'll click on the block I want to modify, go to the spacing options, and increase the padding slightly. You can also adjust the font size specifically for mobile to ensure readability. Next, let's check how our images are displaying on mobile. Since we uploaded separate mobile banners earlier, they're fitting perfectly without any awkward cropping. This is a great way to create a polished, professional look across all devices. Once you're satisfied with the design, it's time to set up some final touches before launching. Head over to the Global Settings tab. Here you can update your site-wide branding, such as your logo, colors, and fonts. Select the element you want to modify. For example, using the color picker, you can easily change background colors and more. You can also update fonts by selecting which font you want to modify, whether it's headers or body text. These are global settings, so any changes you make here will apply across your entire website. Additionally, you can adjust the spacing of each block added to the site, and these spacing changes will also apply globally. You can update graphic styles. For instance, the current style uses underlining effects, but you can switch to something like block designs if you prefer. If you want to add texture or color to a background, you can do that here too, and the same applies to modifying the footer. You can even insert custom CSS and JavaScript directly, which will impact the whole website. For specific pages, such as a blog or product page, you can update the detail page layouts and how they display content, including services and the scheduler. You can also add preset animations globally for images and buttons. Just choose the effect that best fits your style. Now that your website is mostly complete, you can go back and make fine-tuned changes. For example, if you want to add rollover animations for images in your galleries, click on the Animation tab in the Gallery settings. From there, select the animation you want, such as the bounce effect, which adds a slight bounce movement on hover, or the scale effect, which enlarges the image slightly. If you'd like to create a booking page, it's simple. Start by clicking the New Page button, then go to the Other tab, scroll down, and select Booking. You can either load a pre-designed page or start from scratch. Once it's set up, you can add options later, like your scheduler. As you can see, it's fairly easy, and you can make further changes as needed. We'll cover updating the scheduler and other studio management features in a future class. Don't forget to go to the SEO tab for each page and ensure your meta descriptions, titles, and URLs are optimized. This will help your website rank better in search engine results, making it easier for potential clients to find you. After you update the SEO information, you can update the friendly URL. Earlier we changed about to about me. We can update the friendly URL to revert back to /about if we prefer here. If you ever want to switch templates later, you can do so without losing your content by simply selecting a new template under the Change Template option. If you're planning to offer online booking or sell products and services directly through your site, you can set that up in the e-commerce section. For bookings, create a new page using the booking block and customize the available time slots, services, and pricing. This makes it convenient for clients to schedule sessions with you directly through the website. Lastly, make sure to test everything. Go through the entire website as if you were a visitor. Click on all the links, submit a test form, and check that everything functions as expected. It's always a good idea to have a friend or colleague review the site as well. They might catch something you missed. Now that we've switched templates, you'll want to comb the website and make adjustments to any block that has been modified at the block level to reflect the new template settings. Like here, we want to make sure the banner font is the font used on the template. Just remove the customized tag and save, or choose the new font. And there you have it. In just a short amount of time, we've built a fully functional, beautifully designed website with custom pages, galleries, forms, and even a blog. This website is now ready to go live and start attracting clients. Thank you for following along with this tutorial. If you have any questions or want to learn more about advanced features like integrating client galleries, be sure to check out our other masterclasses. We're excited to see what you create with PhotoBiz. Happy website building, and best of luck with your photography business.
Next, we're focusing on client galleries so you can set up to sell in no time. Whether you're a wedding, portrait, or event photographer, this class is your ticket to a smoother, more profitable business. So get ready to set up to sell as John walks us through setting up the e-commerce and client galleries. Take it away, John.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to MasterClass 2025 with PhotoBiz. This is John K. from PhotoBiz, the Internet Yoda. I've been with the company for 16 years. I've worked with a lot of photographers, probably a lot of people that are tuned into this today. Love to help people, love to show people how this all works. And today we're going to cover how to set up your client galleries to sell your prints, products, packages, and everything else to your clients. So let's jump right in. And I'm here on the home screen of a PhotoBiz account. You've got your different icons and everything over here on the left-hand side of the screen. The first thing that we want to do is actually go into the e-commerce section. And so when we click on e-commerce here, it gives you all the different sections that you have available to you. This is going to be the brainchild of everything that you're selling through your client galleries and through your website. The very first thing I recommend setting up whenever you're getting started with your e-commerce and your client galleries is to configure your merchant first. That's going to be how you get paid by your clients. So we hover over payment here, and in the drop down menu we're going to go to merchants. And if you have any merchants configured, they'll show here. As you can see, this is a brand new account, so there's no merchant set up yet. We can click on the new merchant button, and this will take you into the merchant configuration. Now, our recommended merchant is Stripe, but we integrate with them and a couple other ones. We integrate with Square, Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, and a few other ones that you see listed here. We also support offline payments. So if you want to allow people to come into the studio and pay in person, or if you want to do an offline payment such as Zelle, where people can pay via their Zelle account to your Zelle account, you can do that. You can have multiple payment methods. So you can have one credit card merchant like a Square or a Stripe. You can set up PayPal, and you can offer offline payment methods. You can offer a combination of those. The big thing here is that you can only have one credit card primary processor on here, and then your other ones are the supported payments as well. So for today's demo, I'm going to do an offline payment, and in here we're going to say pay in person. We can add special instructions, and this is really going to be something that'll help clients understand, hey, this is how you can pay for your order, and then you can put in a thank you message as well. So we'll put in special instructions. We'll put pay in person with cash, and we can put thank you for choosing Jane Doe Photography. I believe that's the logo I'm using today for this one. So we'll put that in, and we hit add merchant. So whenever we add merchants in here, you'll get the confirmation that it's added. You want to make sure that it is set to active. You'll also see when you created your merchant on your account. So when we look at our merchants here, you'll see now we have that offline payment. The process for adding your other merchants such as Square and Stripe, pretty easy. If you have an existing account with any of those places, you just choose that merchant, and when you hit connect to, it will open up another window here that allows you to put in your login credentials. Once you've got it connected, it will also show those listed here. Now, the next option when you're setting up your e-commerce for the first time is to go and configure your shipping and your sales taxes. So shipping will be how you deliver your orders to your clients for anything that's a physical print, or a product like an album, that type of thing. For digitals, shipping's obviously not going to apply because it's going to be a download link that they get. But we can go in and we click on new shipping method. And for this one, we can just say in-studio pickup. And for this, if you offer it for free, just set it to 0, add shipping. You can also add additional information in here, such as country fees. If you're shipping international, you can pass that charge along to the client where you're not paying out of pocket to deliver their images. We'll do one here just for example with the post office. We'll do USPS, and we'll just say we charge $10 a flat rate, add shipping method. And so any shipping method you configure, they'll be listed here. And later in the presentation here, I'll show you where you can actually set up as many different shipping methods as you want, and you can limit those via price lists, so you can offer specific shipping methods to specific clients. The other thing we want to look at in here is your sales tax. And so we click on taxes, we go to new tax line, you can put in your sales tax information, so we'll just say sales tax on here. And this will vary from place to place. So some places charge sales tax, some don't. Some charge, different rates. Some do where it's only people in one state. Others do it where, it's all orders. You can control that here with the different settings. For today's demo, I'm just going to do a 7% sales tax. We're going to tax all orders. You can also charge additional sales tax. Some places require like county taxes, that type of thing. You can put that in here. And then you can also control whether or not you apply sales tax to shipping. Once you've got this all configured, you hit add tax line, and that will create your sales tax on here. Much like the shipping methods, you can also create multiple tax lines as needed. And like I said, this will vary from place to place. Big thing on here, if you're not sure what to put in there, it's best to check with somebody local, an expert in your area, just to make sure you're collecting the right kind of sales tax on here for stuff you're selling online. The benefit of doing it here too is that this will automatically calculate the sales tax on your orders. It'll show on the receipt, and then in the reporting that you have built into your PhotoBiz account, you can actually pull a sales tax report if you need to see at the end of the year what your sales tax looked like. So once you have those three things set up, your merchants, your shipping, and your taxes, those are the three key components to being able to accept payments and deliver your orders to your clients. The next thing we're going to look at is going to be how to configure what we are actually selling on our site. So if we hover over Sell Online here, you'll see you've got a bunch of different options in here. You've got prints, digital images, packages, products. We're not going to cover services in this because it doesn't apply to your client galleries, but it is something where you can take one-time flat fees like a setup fee or booking fee, that type of thing. We'll cover that in another part of MasterClass. You can do gift cards for online orders, and you can also configure your price lists. So let's take a look at these different options here. First, we're going to look at prints. And when you go in here, it'll show any print sizes you have configured. To add new print sizes, we'll click on the new print size button, and we'll just specify the size here. So we'll just say 8x10. You set your price. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. For the demo today, I'm just going to set this to be $45. You could choose whether or not this print is active. You could choose whether or not you're charging sales tax. And if you have prints that are going to require additional shipping, maybe something's larger than your regular prints, you can pass that along to your client here for that specific item in the price list. So we'll click Add Print Size, get the confirmation message that it's been added, and you'll see here now we've got our prints. You can repeat those steps to add any print sizes that you want to offer to your clients in your client galleries. Now, this is something where you'll want to offer this for physical prints, or if you do digitals but you want to offer them like retouched before they get the link to download them, you can create that as a digital image here. And what that will allow your clients to do is purchase this without getting a link to download it. It'll come to you as an order, and then you'll be able to retouch the file and then provide it as a download. And I'll show you that in the client galleries. The next thing you can do here, if you want to offer digitals as an option, you can click on digital images, and this will allow you to sell digital downloads that are available once clients have paid for their order. So we'll click new image, and we can put in our digital image name. So we're going to call this one social media file, and we'll put a price, and you can choose your resolution here. So we have two that are included with the website package: your web size low resolution, which will be a maximum file size of 1500 pixels wide by 865 pixels tall at 72 dpi, or you can do web size high resolution, which will be 3000 pixels wide by 1730 pixels tall and 72 dpi. You can offer as many different combinations of this as you want, so we'll set them up one at a time. We also offer a third option for clients that sell original resolution size files with the original file size option. It's $10 a month, and it allows you to sell files as large as 50 megabytes each. Then you can upgrade that on your account anytime right through the control panel. You can choose whether this is active or not, and you can choose if you want to charge sales tax on this. Once you've got this all ready to go, you hit add digital image, and it will create the digital print. You'll see it's been added here with the confirmation message. We go back to digital images here, and now you'll see that we've got that listed. Again, you can offer different sizes here. You can offer the 2 or 3 different sizes, and you can charge different amounts for each one of those if you want to as well. The next thing we're going to look at is packages. And so this is a section that will allow you to sell print packages. And these can be divided into a couple different methods. So we'll go in, you see you've got categories. So you can create different categories if you have different types of packages that you offer to different clients. For example, you may have a print package for family portrait sessions and then a totally different print package for seniors. The list goes on. You can offer as many different combinations and types of packages you want, and you can split them up into categories here. For the demo here, I'm just going to use the one category called packages, and we will add a new package, and you'll see you can do fixed packages, flexible packages, digital fixed packages, or the full event as a digital file download. These 4 packages give you a lot of flexibility with this. So let's take a look at these. Your fixed package allows you to create, a simple pricing package. This is gonna be your traditional. You get, an 8x10 and 2 5x7s for X dollar amount. So we go in and we can call this one the gold package. You can put in a description for your package here. Now, one thing you don't want to do in the description, you don't need to include the print sizes because that's going to be in the next step and it'll be visible to your clients. So you can say something along the lines, this is my most popular package, and saves you 10% versus buying a la carte. Something like that promotes it. Just something that lets people know what they're getting with this. You could choose the number of poses. So we'll say 2. We'll set this to active. We can charge our price for this. So on this one, we'll say $45. You can choose if you're going to charge sales tax, if you're going to charge shipping. If there's additional shipping, you can charge that here. You can also tag your packages. So one thing that's really nice about this is that you can add a tag to this. So for this one, we're going to call it Family Portrait Package. And when we add that tag, what this will do is this will allow you to sort your orders by anybody that's purchased the family portrait package. And that's great because it ties in with some of the other tools that you have included with your account as far as the studio management goes, like the email marketing, for example. It's really nice because it makes it easy to generate lists of who's bought what within your account. We go and we hit next. And here's where you can add your print sizes that are going to be available in the package. So we'll say you get 1 8x10 and you get 2 5x7. So we'll put in our print size, we'll put in the quantity, and we hit create package. Once you've created the package, you'll have access to all the settings for it here. So you'll see the details, which is what we configured. You'll see your print sizes. You can put in an image to act as a placeholder in your store, in your client galleries. So this would be just representative of what you have in terms of the actual package itself. This wouldn't be something that your client gallery images would go into. This is something that just represents what you're selling. You can do add-ons. So if you want to offer add-ons on your package, for example, someone can buy an additional pose for an additional $10. And then you can also specify, what that is as far as that print goes. So if they can do, an additional 5x7, and if you want to charge an additional price for it, you can do that here. Those add-ons are pretty cool because it makes it easy for you to be able to do. It makes you be able to do additional print sizes for a package if you want to offer that as an add-on. You got SEO section here. where you can put in your site search and such, and then, as I mentioned before, the tags. So very easy to create a fixed package, and once you've created that here, you'll see that we've got the gold package. It's $45. We don't have an image uploaded for it, and you'll see the type of packages it's fixed. We can go in and we can do a flexible package. Same thing. We can call this one the silver package. And this is a flexible package that allows you to choose poses and prints that you want to apply them to. So on here we can choose our number of poses. So we'll say 2 again, and we can choose how many prints they're going to be able to purchase in total. So we'll say for this one we'll do 3 total, and for this one we're going to do our price. Same things apply here: charge tax, charge shipping, additional shipping. For tag on this one we could say flexible family portrait package. And once you've got this all configured, you hit next. And here where you can put in your print sizes. So we'll say 8 by 10, we'll say 5 by 7, and you can also put in other things in here. So like, let's say 11 by 14. Once you've added your print sizes, same thing applies. You've got your different options in here. Flexible packages do not allow for add-ons. That's one thing that's only applies to your fixed packages, but that's how you can configure these. And now we'll go in and let's look at the digital fixed option. So this is what allows you to sell specific amount of digital images per event. So we'll go in, and on this one, we're going to call this one, we can call this one the bronze package. And we'll say this package is digital files that you can share online. And in here you put how many digitals you want people to buy. So for this one we'll just say, let's say 3. You can charge your price here. So we'll say $100, and then you choose your resolution. And again, the web size low, web size high, and original files, if you have that, will all be available here. You could choose to charge sales tax or not, and then you choose if you want to make it active, and we are good to go on here. The digital fixed will also allow you to sell additional digitals for an amount. So we'll say you can do 3 additional for $20 each, and you hit save changes, and now we've got a digital fixed package set up. The last package option that you have is the full event. So digital full event, this allows people to purchase all of their images from an event, and again, they can download this all at once the payment's received by you. So for this one, we're just going to call it all digitals, all images, and this package gives you all of your images in a single download. And for this one, we'll put in our price, $125. You choose your resolution that you want to offer this at, and create your digital package. And you'll see all the same options apply here for digitals, images, and tags. So super easy to set these up. So now we've got all 4 package types set up. Again, you don't have to offer one or any of these packages. You can offer any combination of them that you want, but you do have 4 different options as far as creating your packages goes. And then you can, again, just like I mentioned with the shipping and print sizes, you can go in and you can easily set this up to offer as many different package types, as many different print sizes that you want to offer, and then you can limit those based on the price list, which we'll look at in just a second. The next one we're going to go over here is products. And so you'll see here we've got a couple different categories. We've got just a general products, we've got a canvas collage, photo albums, gifts. You can split up your products into categories. Again, it's nice because you can organize these based on what the product type is, what type of client it's for. The options here are really endless. You can really keep things organized so you know exactly what category contains which products. To add a new product, we'll go in, and for this one, we'll call this one an album. And you can put in a description. So we'll say family portrait album from Jane Doe Photography. And you charge our price, so we'll say $150. You can put in your tax, your shipping. The additional shipping cost is really nice here for products, because if you have something that's large or heavy, something that's going to cost more to ship, you can put that additional shipping cost here, and that way it's automatically added for this very specific product. We'll hit create product to generate the settings for the product option here, and now we've got a lot of different things we can configure. So images allows you to put an image that will represent what this product is into your client galleries. Options is nice because options will let you do things like customization or album cover or finish type or paper type. There's a lot of different things you can do with options. I'll show you how this works real quick. So we're going to click new option, and for this one, since it's an album, we'll keep it simple and we'll just say cover color. And so with this, we can offer, if you have different colors that you offer, for example, on an album cover, we can go in and we'll hit new sub option. And for this one, we'll say black. No extra price for that. Add option. Perfect. We can click go back. We can do a sub option. Let's say red. And if that costs you extra through your lab or your vendor, you can pass that cost on to the customer here. So we'll say this one's $10 extra. And then we'll do one more. We'll say this one blue. And if you don't want to do a flat price for it, you want to do a percentage, you can also do that here. And we'll just say this one, we'll put it at 3%. Hit add option. It's perfect. Now the other thing you can do with your product options here, you'll see we've got our 3 color options for our album cover color. You can also do things like personalization. So we'll go in and we can say, we'll call this one personalization, and we'll do new sub option, and we can say no thank you and leave that at 0. And then if you want to offer something where, say, family name, and it costs you extra to have it done, you can put this in here, and they can enter in their customization on it. So we'll say family name, include your personalized message for your album cover. And what this will do is when people add this product to their cart, they'll be able to put in a custom message on there. So it's nice because these options allow you to add different things to your products and then charge additional fees as necessary. Photo requirements. This is where you can specify how many photos it requires to complete this product in your account and in the checkout process. If you leave this set to 0, there's no image requirements. That means that no one's going to add any of their photos to this. So it's very important that you do specify what your photo requirements are. You can set a minimum and you can set a maximum. So for minimum, we can say 2. And then for maximum, we could say like 10. You can specify this per product. You can go in and just like with the packages for fixed, you can do add-ons. So once people hit 10, you can offer they can add additional photos to this. Let's say they can add 5 additional, and it costs $10 per additional photo. If you're offering digital downloads as a package, you can also, digital products. Let's say, for example, you wanted to offer like a style guide or something else you were selling through your site that people could download. You can do that here, and you can link that to your file section. And once you've got it uploaded, it'll appear here in the drop down. You can choose how long that download is going to be available, and you can choose how many times people can download that. Once you've done that, you hit Save Changes. For an album, obviously there's not going to be a download that you're doing with that, but that option does lie within the product section here. If you're selling something and you want to have inventory for it, let's say you have something that has a one-of-a-kind thing, you can set this to yes, and you can set how many you have in stock. And once you do that and someone purchases it, it will no longer show as available on the site. It will show that it's sold out. You've got your SEO section here and keywords, and then again you have the tag. So for this one we're going to say family portrait album, and we hit save changes. So you've got your product set up, and you'll see here now our product section contains album. If we click on these other categories, you'll see there's some products that we've already set up in here just to kind of have an example of what this would look like when you have multiple categories with multiple products inside it. Now once you've got your stuff filled out here for your prints, your packages, and your products, you'll want to go down to price lists, because price lists are what you can generate and control what your clients will see in their event whenever you send it out to them. So you'll have a global price list, and we can click on that to edit it. You'll see that you can choose what shipping methods are available, products, packages, services, and prints. For this one, we're going to leave this as is. I'll show you how to set up a new price list. So we'll go back to price list here. We'll click on new price list. For this one, we're going to call it family portraits price list. The price list name itself is internal, so only you're going to be able to see it. It's very important to label these so it's clear, because I'll show you when we generate the client gallery we're going to do as an example. You can choose from any of the price lists you've created, so you want to make sure that that naming convention is something that's easy to recognize so you don't accidentally apply the wrong price list to the wrong event. For example, if you had a family portraits price list and a wedding price list, and then you accidentally assign the wedding price list to the Johnson family event, they're going to see things that you offer your brides and not what they were expecting for themselves. So it's good to give it a name that's easy to understand what it is. Again, you're the only one that will be able to see it. To customize the options in your price list, what you can do, you can select all, which by default will have every single thing that you offer in there. You can select none if you don't want to offer anything in a particular category, and then you can also do custom. So for this one, you'll see we've got our in-studio pickup shipping method, which is free, or the post office for $10. So we'll leave that one with all. We'll go into products here, and you can click on this drop down and it'll show you your product categories, and then you can choose what combination of these you want to offer. So for this one, we're going to set none to canvas collage, none to photo albums, and none to gift. We're just going to have our product that we set up for the album. If we go to packages, we'll leave that set to all because we just have the ones that we set up. If we did want to take any of these off, you can click on that and then uncheck the box. It'll switch that over to custom, you'll see, and you're good to go. Services, we're going to have none on this. And then prints, digital images, you can go here, you'll see what you've got available. We'll go ahead and we'll make that social media file as part of this as well. And then we can click on the add to price list. So now we've got our price list added. So you see we have global, and then we have our family portraits price list. Setting these up takes a little bit of time, but once you've got everything configured, you won't have to go back in and mess with this unless your pricing changes or if you add some new packages or new products, that type of thing. Super easy to set it up though. Once you've got it configured and you're ready to start offering these through your client galleries, you'll be able to go in and just choose from your list of price lists that you've already created. Next, we're going to go over to the left side menu and we're going to click on client galleries. Now, when you go into your client galleries, by default you should see a page that looks like this. I haven't set up any events yet, but this will show any of your client gallery events that you have set up in the past, if you have any in there. If you don't have any, it's going to look very similar to what you see here. You'll see that you can do categories. So right now we just have the My Events category. We're going to click on this little pencil icon. We'll change the name of this from my Events to Family Portraits. And we can do, just for the sake of showing you how it works, we'll do another category. For this one, we'll just say Seniors. And what this will do is this will allow you to split your events into different categories. It's a great way to keep things organized. So if you do a couple different types of photography, it makes it super easy to be able to know, okay, hey, this is family portrait session, it needs to go in here, or senior portrait session, it needs to go here. We'll click new event to create a new event, and this is how you will set up the gallery that's going to contain your client's images. So the first thing we're going to do is give our event a name. And so for this one, call it Johnson Family. You set an expiration date. By default, the PhotoBiz client gallery is going to set it to 30 days in advance, but you can click on this calendar field. You can make this as long or as short as you want to. Like I said, by default it's 30 days, but you can increase that or decrease that as needed. Everybody's a little bit different in terms of how long they leave their gallery online. For the example here, I'm gonna set it to a week. Today is, today's date it shows is the 8th. We're gonna push this out to the 15th. We can put in a password. It says optional. Usually for client galleries, most people make it most people do put a password on here. So for this one, we'll put Johnson 2025. Cover page email collection. You can choose whether or not you want people to be able to require them to enter their email address when they access the images. I usually recommend setting this to yes. And the reason for that is because your client galleries also contain email automations. So anybody that accesses the event, if you have your email automations turned on, it puts them into that workflow. So you'll see that by default, we've got two different ones that are set up: client gallery event, and a cart reminder series. For this one, I usually recommend the cart reminder series, because what that's going to do is that's going to send out email reminders for anybody that does something like start their order but don't complete it. It'll send out like an abandoned cart message to them via email. It makes it low touch for you because it does it all automatically. You don't have to mess with it. Now you can use our default ones, or you can edit our existing ones, or go in and create your own. That all goes through the email automation tool. And then over here you've got your price list option, and this is where you'll see why I mentioned naming it something that's easily recognizable makes sense. You got your global one, and you'll see you've got family portraits. So you just select that one. If you need to create a new price list, you can click here. This is going to take you over to the price list section in the e-commerce. You can create a new price list. We scroll down a little bit into the settings here. You'll see that we've got the option to allow free downloads. For this, we're going to set this to no, but if you did want to offer people the ability to go online and just download their pictures for free, you can set this to yes. You can choose the resolution. Or you can choose it yes with code and choose the resolution. This would require them to enter in a separate code to do their downloads. For this example, we're going to set this to no. And then you've got some other options as far as your client galleries go here. You can allow favorites, allow sharing, comments, the magnifier tool, displaying the watermark, and displaying the file names. For the sake of the demo, I'm going to leave all of these on, so they're all going to be set to yes, but you can configure these to offer whatever you want to on here. One of the more common questions I get is the sharing option. What that will allow people to do is to share a link out onto things like social media and all it does is it will pull a link back to the client gallery. So it doesn't allow people to share images where people can save them, but it does allow them to share a link out to third-party places to pull people into the event. It's great for for family portraits where if mom and dad are looking at the images, they can share it out to grandma or whoever else in the family they want to share it with. We click on create event. It's going to ask you if you want to activate your automation series in your emails if they haven't previously been used. So we'll say yes, activate all emails. And now it takes us into our client gallery event. So here is where you can actually upload your photos to your event. You'll see that you've got the click here to upload your images option. You can also add additional galleries in here. So if you have two different things you want to offer to the same event, let's say gallery 1, gallery 2, you can set up multiple galleries in here. For this one, I'm just going to pull some images from my image clipboard here. I've got a couple of family stock photos I'm going to use. We'll insert these on here. Once you've uploaded your photos, you'll see that they're listed here. So this is really nice. You can resort these. So you'll see that if these aren't in the order you want them to be in ascending order by file name, you can do that. And we'll do this, we'll resort it, confirms it for you, it's all set. You can go in and you can configure how this is displayed too for your clients with the cover page option. So if you want people to have a cover page By default here, I've got it set to full screen original, but we've got different cover layouts that you can choose from here. And there's some really nice things that you can do. You put in a nice touch on here. For this one, I'm going to go with vertical split left. You can put in, if you want to have your logo displayed or not, you can put a subtitle in just to kind of greet people when they land on the event. And then you can also choose the cover image. You can choose no image, which would mean that there's no image that shows. It's just going to be the login with your logo. You can use the first image in the event, or you can upload a custom graphic that you want to use for the cover photo. For this one, I'm going to set this to first image, so it's just going to use the first one that we got on there. And then you've got your opacity, so how much opacity you want on that cover image. And then you can also do the image focal point, which is what would put emphasis on in the image. So we'll hit Save Changes. So we've got this all configured for the cover page. We'll click on your gallery. We can see this here. If you want to put music on your client gallery event, you can do that here. Some folks like to use music, some don't. One thing I always remind people is that music's subjective. So what might be your favorite song may not be somebody else's favorite song. So choose that wisely when you're working in there. It's one of those things where it's something you'll know your customer better than anybody teaching a class will. So just keep that in mind with the people you're working with. But you can definitely do that here. You can go in and there's some different settings you can configure from, if you want to change the expiration date, for example, you can go in here and change that. And then the last option here to deliver this gallery out to your clients. Now you can send people to your site to just go and log in through a proofing link, or you can use this cool tool that we have called email invitations. So in your event, each one of those is going to have a button here that says share. And if you click on it, it slides out the right side menu, and you'll see an option here to share your project email invite. And on this is really nice because this will allow you to send out an email. And on here, I'm going to use my email, johnk@photobiz.com. I'm not an existing email, so it's not going to show up here. Anybody that's already in your database, when you start to type out their email, it'll appear below, so you can just click on it to add it to the invitation. This will show you the contacts that you have selected. So right now I just have myself on here. We can also let's just put the support team at photobiz.com email here. You can do multiple contacts. So if you've got a family and you want to share it with mom, dad, grandma, whoever, you can put those in here. Anybody that you need to, as many different contacts as you need to, and then you hit continue. You can put what the name is going to be. So we'll say PhotoBiz MasterClass 2025. You can put what email address this is going to come from. So on here, say marketing@photobiz.com. You can put a custom subject line in. You can put a custom message in if you want to. There's also an option here if you want to include instructions on how clients can create their own custom gallery viewing app on their phone. You can choose yes or no on that. And then you can hit the send button. This will give you the confirmation message that you've shared this out. And what's really nice about this is that you will be able to go in and check the delivery status in your contacts once you've shared it out. So you can see if it's been delivered, if it's been opened. That's all tracked for you through that email invitation on here. Now, if you don't want to use the email invitations, you've also got the option here to share your link out, and it'll generate that link. You can copy it here. You can also choose whether or not you want to require the password to be entered when they do it. So if you just do this default copy and you send it to your clients, it's going to load the password in for them. If you don't want to do that and you want to make them enter the password, just check that box. And then you can also share this out via social media. You can share it out to Facebook, X, which is formerly Twitter, and Pinterest. And again, this will put a link out to those platforms with it driving traffic back into the event itself. And then the last option that you have here is to create a blog post using your client gallery. So this is cool because you can go in, and if you have a client that you want to showcase as like your featured client of the month on your blog, you can use their event to create that content. And so you can go in, you can enter this in manually, or we have our new PhotoBiz AI writing assistant. You can click here and you can have the PhotoBiz AI write the blog post for you. That's either option here is really cool because it allows you to create content from content that already exists for you. And then for the images you want to have, you can use the cover image, or you can generate it based on the first 15 images in whichever gallery you got. And once you've done that, you just hit publish, and that will create that blog post for you. And you can check that in the PhotoBiz blog over here in the left side menu, so you can go there if you want to go in and edit the blog layout or anything like that. So that's how you share these out, and that's how you create your client galleries. Now let me show you what the buying process looks like on here, because this is pretty cool how you can set it up to allow clients to go in and purchase. So I'm up. See here, we've got Jane Doe Studios. So the Johnson family get their cover photo. On here it shows the expiration date. That's an option you can turn on or off. We hit open. And let me just remove one thing on here. Let's sign out of this real quick, because it should show, yeah, here we go. So now we can see email collections turned on, and we've got the password requirement. So on here we're going to do johnk@photobiz.com, and we'll put in our password, Johnson 2025. We don't need to save that. And our client gallery images are here. So we can hover over these, we can click on them, we can mark favorites. You'll see the watermark here, we have it just as the default copyright symbol, but you can go in and you can upload your own custom watermark as well. We have the magnifier tool, which allows people to look at the larger view of it. You can do side-by-side comparisons in your client galleries. Select which one you want. This is what the share option will look like. You can email a link out to people, or you can share it out on social media. You can go in and you can leave a comment on here. And submit that back to your photographer. Your client can send that back to you. So this is only something that's visible between you and your client. So it makes it super easy to do. And then the e-commerce piece of it, when we click add to cart, we will see what our price list has made available to us. So we'll go in and we'll say, okay, I want to have this one retouched. We can go through and we can pick this family photo here, and if this one, we're going to say we want this one as a digital single image. Go through, and we got the beach photo here. We can do this one, and you know what, I want this, I want to do an album on this, and I want to do this as, I just use the default black cover. We'll do the personalization, and you'll see here you can put, your client can enter in their personalized message here, Johnson Family 2025. We can add that to the cart, and as you'll notice it says incomplete because we haven't met the image requirement yet. So we'll add one photo here. It'll tell us once we've got it completed. Okay, we've got it here. It says we've added 2, maximum of 10. So I'm just going to add this same photo to show you what happens when you hit the max, but then it has the option to do additional. So you'll see here now we can do an add-on for $10. So we'll go in and we'll add the picture of the family with the kid on the bike here. And let's go into our package, add-ons available. So we'll go in and we'll do an additional. And what's cool is that will show as an add-on on here, so it's not something that is going to surprise anybody when they get to checkout. So we can go back, close the buy box, and we'll add this one to one of our packages. Now we've got the all images option. We'll do that one for this. What's nice about this is this will give us all of our images as a download. We can also go in and say, hey, let's look at our bronze package. We got one. We can add this one in here as 2. We can add this one in here as 3. And it'll show it's complete. the image requirements on your products and packages and such are nice because it's not going to allow people to check out until they have actually completed whatever those requirements are for your different items. So we can go in and let's look at what we have in our cart so far. And we've got our digital file retouch, we've got our packages, we've got everything that we've purchased and added to the cart. It's got our subtotal here, and we can begin the checkout process. And so your standard checkout process here, say John K. PhotoBiz. And we go in. If your clients have the same shipping info, it'll be here, or they can enter in different billing or different shipping from their billing address. We hit continue. They choose their shipping method. We hit continue, and we'll get to our payment option, which for this one we're doing pay in person with cash. Now, if you have multiple payment methods, those are going to show up here. If you're using a credit card merchant, their credit card option to pay enter their card info right here will go, and they hit submit order. Perfect. They'll get a receipt from your studio. Click on the view receipt button here. This will show you an example of what your customer is going to get in their inbox after they've made their purchase. You'll also get a notification email that shows you everything that was purchased as well. And as we scroll down, you'll see that we've got our file names and thumbnails and pricing info and everything else in here for the order. Makes it super easy. It's all going to be branded with your logo at the top, so it's going to show all your information on here. Makes it really, really easy to get in there and place your orders, and it, like I said, it gives you a full detailed receipt on this. And then once that order has been placed in your PhotoBiz account, if we go into e-commerce, we go into dashboard, it's going to show you your orders here. You're also going to have the notification bell up here where you'll see that you've got your order. So we can click on that and it'll take us in, it'll show us what was purchased by the client. And the sales tax thing I mentioned before with the taxes, you can look at your sales tax report here. It'll show what's been collected for the month and the year. It's really nice because it makes it easy to see, what all was purchased from you. And that's how the e-commerce with the client galleries works. It's pretty straightforward stuff, and it's very easy for your clients to go in and order. The nice thing is that it's also all mobile responsive. So while I did this demo on my desktop, the ordering process is the same for folks whether they're on a phone, a tablet, an iMac like I'm recording this on, PC, doesn't make a difference. It's going to work everywhere. It's going to look great everywhere. Super easy for them to get in there and get their order, check out, and get you paid right away. I hope that everybody found this to be useful. If you're working through this, if you have questions about it, our support team is available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're in Greensboro, North Carolina. We'll help you out with any of the questions that you might have about this.
Hey everyone and welcome, I'm Jeremy Heiler, and today we're diving into a key topic for any photography business, client retention. You already work hard to attract new clients, but the real secret to long-term success isn't just getting new bookings, it's keeping your clients coming back. In this session, we'll walk through proven strategies for maintaining strong client relationships using automations, emails, and scheduling. By the end of this session, you'll have the tools to enhance your client experience to build long-term loyalty, use automation to stay connected effortlessly, implement email marketing that actually works, make booking easy so clients return year after year. Let's get started. Before we dive into the tools and strategies, let's talk about why client retention is so important. We often focus on bringing in new clients, but did you know that acquiring a new client costs 5 times more than retaining an existing one? That's right. Clients who love working with you are more likely to book repeat sessions, families come back for milestones, engagements turn into weddings, and businesses need updated headshots. Spend more. A loyal client is more likely to invest in albums, prints, and upgraded services. For friends and family, happy clients do your marketing for you. When you prioritize a great client experience, you build a business that's profitable and sustainable. So how do we do that? Let's start with automations. A lot of photographers shy away from email because they think it's spammy. But trust me, when done right, email marketing is a game changer. Here are 3 types of emails that work exceptionally well for client retention. Client nurture emails. Share photography tips, session prep guides, or a behind-the-scenes look at your shoots. These emails build trust and keep clients engaged. Exclusive offers and VIP perks. Give returning clients early access to book mini sessions or special discounts as a thank you. Personalized thank you notes. After a session, a heartfelt thank you email reminds clients why they loved working with you. Consistency is key. Set up a monthly or quarterly newsletter with helpful content, updates, and gentle reminders to book. One of the biggest reasons clients don't book again, a complicated scheduling process. If it takes multiple emails or phone calls to book, people will put it off. With PhotoBiz's online scheduling, clients book instantly without back and forth emails. And automated reminder, so clients don't forget their session, offer VIP pre-booking for returning clients. Making the booking process smooth and stress-free ensures clients keep coming back year after year. All right, let's put everything together into a simple, repeatable plan. 1. Set up automations, follow-ups, reminders, and personalized messages. 2. Stay connected with email marketing, provide value, offer VIP perks, and thank your clients. 3. Make booking effortless. Use online scheduling to remove any barriers. With these strategies in place, your clients will feel valued, engaged, and eager to return for their next session. Now let's jump in the back of PhotoBiz, set up our studio manager, and prepare our workflows.
So as soon as we launch into the website, we're going to focus on our studio management features. That's going to help with the automation portion of your business. So let's go over to the left side menu. You'll see over here that those typically are the quotes and invoices, scheduler, the forms, the CRM, the contact section, and even some of the marketing elements are what we're going to focus on today, and even in tandem with the client gallery. They all work together at one point, one over the other, but these are the pieces that we're going to focus the most on is the automation portion. So let's click on marketing first. You'll have the marketing email campaigns, and then you'll see email automation. Email automations are what's going to help you stand out amongst the crowd when you're connecting with your customers. This is that retention factor. This is also going to be that assistant that you're looking for in your workflows. So, when you want to stay connected to your customers after you've already implemented like a client gallery, or if you have a booking session, or if you have invoices that they need to pay on. These automations are going to be automated as long as you enable them. So let's take a look at those. Okay, you can see that you have 3 tiers to choose from at the moment, which is client galleries, scheduler, and invoicing. Let's focus on client galleries first. So you can see in the automations you have 2 that you can select from right away, or you can create your own email series. Now, an email series is the total of emails that is going to be created and sent to that customer. You can see if they've been assigned or not. So let's see the one that we've assigned already to our client galleries. This one is a client gallery plus a cart event. So what that means is, if there's anything inside of it, it's going to remind them. So you can see it has saved cart data. So the first email in this series, once it's set up to trigger, you can see it'll be 3 days after a new account is created. And then there'll be one that is sent for favorite reminders 3 weeks before the event's expiration date. So whenever you have the expiration date set for that client gallery, this one will send then.
And then you'll see abandoned cart notice has also been created, and it's 1 day after the cart was saved. Event expiring reminder. So this is 1 week before the event's expiration date. So this is just going to tell them like, hey, your event is ending soon. And then expired event notice 1 day after the expiration of that event. So if we just take a look at see what they look like, you'll click in, you'll see this is the generated email type that they'll see. Now this is very broad and generic. And the reason why it's done that, this isn't going to go to specifically just one client, this email type. What it does is it is automated and generates to that customer, and you can see whatever client gallery event name will be the unique link here. So that customer that you're sending it to will get it, but the email is broad for all customers. So anyone that you've worked with, this is what they'll see, but this part right here will be unique to that customer. Now you can edit the messaging, you can edit the triggers however you want to, so you could have this before, after the cart was saved, or anything like that, but since this is dedicated to when the account is created, we wouldn't want to change that. You can also see when it's going to send immediately after a new account is created, or if you schedule it 3 days after a new account is created, or anything like that. So you can have it where it's doing this. I would set the trigger date for a new cart event. Maybe we're going to set it up immediately, and if it's active, you can then turn on or disable this email in this series and hit save changes. It's going to hit save changes, and then you can see what's in the content. Now the content is the content up here, the part that is very broad. You can modify this however you want to, but I wouldn't say like hello Diane or hello Joe, since again this will go to everyone that is in an email series. So keep it broad for all your customers. So just saying thank you for creating an account, here's how you view it, and then that email will send with that client galleries event. So you can create all this. You can see the pre-header text. This is what it will say on the outside of the email. It'll just kind of fill out there. A new account is created, or you can say take a look at your gallery. So you can keep improving these details as you go. You can see the recipients, how it is triggered. So select the trigger is immediately after a new account is created. Include recipients, visitors who create an account for a client gallery. So that's how this is triggered and emailed out to them. And then again, you can see all the other emails in this series. Let's just take a look at them. So this is if they select favorites. Anything that's been favored in that gallery is tied to that account that has saved something. So they'll be able to see all their saves, and this just reminds them to go and finish making their selections. You'll also see abandoned cart notices here. So it's just letting them know like, hey, go ahead and fulfill that. And again, you can modify this. This abandoned cart is 1 day after a cart is saved. Maybe you want to give them a couple extra days. So you can modify it as you go. Maybe we want to trigger this 2 days out instead of immediately. That way we don't feel like we're bugging them. Then you also have the expiration one here. And the expiration one is just going to let them know the event is ending soon. And the one for it's expired. Now there's also the ability to create new emails. Now you can select new email types in here. So maybe you're going to give them one about the event expiring again, one for a event visitor message. Want to give them an app link, you can have one set up for that. You can also do favorite reminders again, abandoned cart notices, and expired notices. So all these are preset and have content in here that you can modify and then change the trigger dates for them. So if you want to have multiple notices for expiring or reminders or anything like that, you can have that. But my favorite is the general message. And the reason why this is my favorite, this one can go particularly in any way you want it to. So maybe you want to create an email a couple months after this event is expired. This is a great way to trigger that. So you can create something after the event is expired. You can trigger it to be 3 months away, and it could just be like a check-in, like, hey, did you get all the images you want from the gallery? So you can create an entirely unique email that is dedicated to them. So it could be something along the line of, did you get all your favorite images? And then whatever your message here that goes along with that. Hey, just checking in, making sure you got all the images you wanted from your event. If not, please connect with me right away so we can work it out. So something like that. You can make it where if they need more options, you can have that. You can have here a custom button. This could be like a book consultation, or like connect with me, and then it could go directly to a your contact page, something like that. I'm just going to send it to photobiz.com for now, and then your pre-header text. Again, it could be a new message, wherever you want it to say here, and then that could be set up as a trigger. So I'm going to save it. You see that we created this little information, and then you can also include recipients, so all visitors or by type. Maybe we want to only send it to people who have had purchased from the event, who had items in the cart, or who have never sent favorites to a photographer or anyone. So you could do everyone or very specifically. So here you can choose like, okay, I want to send it to people who have never sent their favorites, because that makes me worried about that customer type. Maybe this will only trigger then. So that's one way you can create this trigger. Or maybe this visitor had items in their carts, so I want to send it to those two types, but maybe they never purchased. You can also make exclusions. People who exclude people who have downloaded images, people who have never sent their favorites. So you can do the exclusion that way as well. So I'm going to keep it as this because I'm only worried about these two sets of customer types, because it looks like they might have made no purchases, and that makes me worried. So that's how that email will trigger out. Now you can go even further in depth if you need to and create even more emails with the general message. Now, you're probably wondering what types of emails you can create. That's the nice thing about it. So say you do weddings. So they've had their wedding gallery, they've looked at it, and it's been a year. Guess what? You could do something that is generated just for them that can trigger out after the event 1 year later. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe you're just saying congratulations or something like that. Hope you're doing well. You can create a custom message that is going directly to them. So we have this, we're going to set it to active. We're going to then go to content. We're going to create like a happy anniversary and then send them wherever you want to. We're just going to send them photobiz.com and whatever your pre-header text is. So this is a great way to keep them hooked in and be able to connect with you. You can change it. I'm going to keep it to all visitor types that this email series will be triggered for. And this will go that way. So now we have this set up, and you can keep adding more options down the line. You can add one for like, send me a review. Would you please, refer people? You name it. You can keep creating these options, and then this is a great way to connect with them, keeping them in tandem with you, but you can make referrals out of this. You can create so many things and promotions directly for them. Again, like with the anniversary, give them 20% off a mini session shoot. If they refer someone, you can give them a savings, and then that customer that they're going to refer to you can get a savings too. It's however you want to create promo codes and anything like that. That way when people sign up, they can directly use that. So that's something that you can keep in tandem. So maybe you create one about referring. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to create one for general message about referring, and we're going to do this 1 month after the event. And we're just going to make sure it's active. We're going to create something. Okay, so we will write something like, I hope you're doing well. I want to offer you and a friend of yours that I think could use a wonderful photo session opportunity for 20% off if you book before 2026. Please use the promo code 20NOW when you book today. So you'll create this promo code to work in your website, and then make sure that it's functional, and then you can give them a direct link to booking. And then we'll just send them to photobiz.com. So now you can have this ready for them for when they book. So you have this ready. You can then modify this one. We know this is a client gallery event and cart reminder series, but we're going to make it wedding because we might do other types of photography as well. So we'll say wedding cart reminder 2025. That way we know later down the line we might need to modify this or copy it we might want to change the promo code to be a different promo code. And now we have a client gallery series ready, and you can see there's 8 emails that are going to trigger. Those additional ones that have been added are going to be 3 months, 12 months, and then 1 month after the event. So those are set up for us now, and we've created an entire automated flow that's going to keep that retention factor there that can follow these customers on that journey and hopefully give us referrals. You can create one for testimonials if you want to, and hopefully it'll keep them retention factors while coming back. We want them to come back to us. So we have those set, the emails created, client galleries are set. We're very satisfied with that. Now there's other options that you can create as well with the email automations. You have the scheduler. With the scheduler, you have the ability to create appointment reminders. You can see there's 2 already set here. You can create new series if you want to directly here as well, or create your own from scratch. It's really up to you how you want to do that with all of them. I always like to set with the start with the presets just because it's a little bit faster. But we can see here what we have with the testimonial one. So you can see there's 4 in this series. 2 weeks before the appointment, there's an appointment reminder. And this, again, this part right here, keep broad, but this will be the unique piece that goes to that user. So when you look at the trigger, let's see what it says. Recipients. 2 weeks before the appointment, include recipients. Contact link to the upcoming appointment. So if they fill out everything on the appointment, this links directly to that customer, and not everyone. Not everyone's going to receive this email trigger. Only people that are booking with you. So that specific customer will receive this email. So you got that set. You can then customize it however you want to, whatever you want the text to be. You can do that here. And then you can look at all the other appointments options as well. So for this one, I want to create a unique one. You can see we have something already for testimonials, which is really nice. Again, maybe we want to remind them. This is 2 days after the appointment, but maybe we want to do one down the line that reminding them to book again for future appointments. We can set that up. So let's go ahead and create one about setting up future appointments. We're going to have a book soon. We're going to create a trigger date of 6 months. How about that? So are you ready to book your next appointment? There you go. And then you can customize the button however you want to. You can do that directly here. And you'll see this will go directly to that customer that's been linked. So you can have something as short as this that's telling people, hey, you ready to book your next event? Go right ahead. So we just added one extra one to this. And you can keep adding as many as you want to a series, however many times you want to. Maybe you want to do something for, if you know their birthdays or anything like that. You can set up stuff that's like, hey, we want to celebrate you. Here's a coupon code for when it's your birthday for something. Whatever you're doing, you can keep adding reminders and options. If you know ahead of time all your mini sessions for the year, you could set them all up in here, like knowing like 6 from now we're going to be doing an event, and you'll only have this email set up for that trigger. You can set that up too. So let's go back and look at invoicing. Now we'll take a look at invoicing more in depth on how that works, but let's look at the series options that you have available. So you see there's one here already. You can create a new one. We're going to look at the one that's already here. Now you're going to see that this invoice reminder is going to tell them when something's due, and it's tied directly to the invoice that's created. So 1 week, 1 day, 2 days after invoice is due, and then an invoice after invoice is paid is set up. You can create other ones in this as well. Invoice reminder, payment reminder, and then a general message. Again, you can send out a general message that's like after invoice is paid or after the due date. You can send anything like that. We're going to send something months ahead, so maybe like 11 months, not even a full year. This is where you can have a custom message to them saying, hey, I really enjoyed working with you. Would you like to do something else? Okay, so we created a custom message that is, I enjoyed our session last year. I was wondering if you or someone you know would be ready for a session. If so, you can say 10% now before 2026.
click the button below to book. So you can have a simple message like that that goes out to them, and then you can have this page that's uniquely created that has a 10% off setting already built into it if you want to. So you can create these experiences, make them unique to those customers, but also keeping that referral, keeping that reoccurring option available, because we want to make sure that our customers are coming back to us. Especially as photographers, it could be very difficult because you usually have one session and then it could be gaps in between all that, especially for like your wedding. You're hoping that'll turn into marriage and family photos, if that's something that you do. Or you're changing engagement into wedding photos. If you're seniors, well, you're waiting for new seniors to approach you. But you can always try to find other gaps in between that. Like if they have friends that want sessions done, or maybe you want to do graduation photos, anything like that. So think of ways that you can keep this customer bound to you. Family photo sessions are kind of easy because you can always get the children growing up. So that's a nice way to do that, especially for like newborns, like newborns, yearly sessions, milestone sessions, stuff like that. So think how you can do that, and then always offer the option to, if you give me a friend, I'm going to give them a savings as well. So you keep that reoccurring factor and those reviews and testimonials. As long as it keeps reciprocal, it'll make you grow as a business owner. And that's what you want. Okay, so we've created multiple series of different types of emails for different types of automations. Now these are all set up for them to trigger when they actually fill out information and stuff like that. So once they book a session, they'll get the email series. Once they have clicked in and created an account for the client gallery, that'll create a session. After we send them an invoice, that will create these automations. But you have to make sure to enable them. So let's see what that looks like. First, we're going to go over to our client galleries. So we have this Johnson photo one. You can see there's already images here. Let's click on the gear, and you can see we do have weddings already selected. Now, if you didn't have one, it will be set to none. But when you're ready to enable one, you can choose between your series that you've created. Now, if you're doing something yearly or specific, like okay, this one's going to be for families, I'm going to create one for families. If I'm going to create one for weddings, I'm going to create one for weddings. Or if you just want to be broad, you can just create a client gallery event series. So we're going to create one. We have this one's already set. But if you want to create a new one, you can create a brand new one. I'm just going to create an event series. That's just for families. But I want to make sure I know this is the one for families. So maybe they can have all unique experiences for different types of galleries that you create. So there's our family client one. So then when I go back to our client gallery, I would want to make sure that the family one was enabled. Yes, and activate the emails. This is going to activate the series, so whenever someone fills it out, it will be an active automation series going to them. Okay, so it's active. Now, let's go to our quotes and invoices. Now, with quotes and invoices, this is where you'll create them directly here. So if you need to create custom proposals and quotes, this is where you can generate that. So let's go ahead and create a custom quote. So if anyone is approaching you, you can go ahead and start filling out what you're going to build them for, if you're creating a very customized option for them. And what's great about it is you can do it directly here and they can approve it, and you can go ahead and start creating payments and payment options. This is going to help out a whole lot when it comes to making sure that they're making timely payments, and with those automations enabled, it's going to ping them when those payments are due. So let's go ahead and just add some options. We're going to go ahead and create some new options here. You can select a contact you want it to go to. I'm just going to send it to myself. There we go. So you can see it filled it out. It's going to send it directly to me. And then you can go up to the items that you want to send them. So you can create a custom item. So maybe there's something unique here, like we'll just say wedding event. Description, 8-hour event shooting. Quantity 1, and then we'll make that $800. How about that? Something low cost. $100 an hour. There we go. Is it taxable? If they're shipping, no. Add that. Great. Next, you can also add in other custom packaging. So if they're going to have prints, digital file retouching, yeah, I'm going to give them that. What else would they want? They might want packages. Well, they can see the types of packages I have available. I'm going to give them, they purchase the the silver package, add that, and they also selected they want to download all images. How about that? And you can keep creating these products and other things that are available. They're getting an album as well. They're going to choose the black, and they want it family name on it. How about that? And then you can include the family album name to it. Here they're going to be the Johnsons. How about that? So we're creating this unique experience. We got all that. If there's going to be some stuff that shipped, or if it's in studio, they're going to pick it up in studio. So I'm going to leave it at that. When this will expire. So if we're going to send them this custom quote, we're going to give them just about 14 days. How about that? So we're going to give it to the 5th to make this choice. And then if there's any other details that you want to put in here, like if you need to put in any terms or policies, this is where you put all that type of information and what you want your thank you message to be after they've approved. You can also make sure that it's enabled to email as well. So you can see this package that we've created for them is a $1,294.70 package. It's got images, events, you name it, all that is collected here, and it's going to be in studio pickups, and the client information and details will display here. Now, what's it look like when it sends to them? They'll have this option to approve and decline virtually. So what they'll get is an invoice like this. You can see how it'll display, and then they'll be able to approve or decline. So if they approve it, yes, they'll approve it here, and now the quote's been approved. You'll get that in your back system as well. So when you click tracking, you'll see it's been approved. Great. So now this quote, we can create, you can see it's been approved. You can change the status if you need to as well. But you can also enable it to be an invoice. So when do we want the due date for this invoice done? We're going to give them till the end of February. And you can create partial payments if you want to as well. So we're going to allow them to pay it in installments. And we're ready to send an invoice. So now we click create invoice. Now it is ready to be sent to them via invoices. So now when we take a look at it, you can see the invoices, you can see the options, you can see what's going on, and then we can modify the invoice directly here and enable automations. We're going to collect our invoice series. Again, you can edit one or create a new one directly here. We're going to save, we're going to activate. So now this is active, and they're going to start getting those. And they can submit payments if you want to, or make it all one payment. But now they're going to start getting that email series sent to them based on the approval of that. And you can track it all directly here, quotes, invoices, if they made any payments. You can see it's still pending. So now they'll start getting emails directly to them about making those payments, and that's set up. Very fast and easy with the quotes and invoicing tool. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the scheduler. Now the scheduler is our most robust feature, probably for the Studio Manager, because this is where you can create all the schedule typed events and services that you have. So if there's different types of sessions available, you can have this available for people to choose from. We're just going to create a new family one. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to create a reoccurring date. And this is available. Again, put whatever details here. How long the service is, we're going to make it a 90-minute session. We're going to make it $300. And if it's for booking only or booking with payment, we're going to say booking with payment for now. Then you can add images directly here to represent this type of session. This is going to show on the front end. So I'm just going to choose something from my clipboard. I'm going to select this one. And then you have options if you need to. If you need to enable any sub options. Options are great if you need like hair and makeup, locations, you name it, whatever you want to add as additional options. So we're just going to create one for locations. We're going to give them options for locations. So in Studio, there's no additional cost for that. We'll just make that there. and then mountains. We'll make an additional, just for gas, $20. Ocean, because in North Carolina we got a little bit of everything, right? We'll make that one $40. Okay, so they can choose where they want to go to. All right, and then they'll be able to select. And then availability, if you have any time off or not, or if you're going to limit the schedule, you can do that. Limiting the schedule is great if you only want people to book you for specific days for this type of event. So maybe you only do this session type on weekends, you can select it to be that. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell all these that were not available for this session type on the weekdays. Okay, you can see we have our Sunday and Saturday available for this event type. So we're going to hit Save Changes. You can also put time off if there's any dates that you know you're going to be off. Instructions, if you need anything specific for them to do, if you need additional information for your clients before they book with you, you can use this section for creating custom booking questions. And then you can also put email notifications for thank you messages here. You can enable the email automation that you prefer for this. We're going to select the automated reminder and testimonial series. We're going to activate it. You can also add keywords here, and this is what you're going to utilize for search purposes and things like that on your website. You can also customize the SEO here directly for searching purposes. And tags are important because this is going to help with your CRM. So we're going to put family session here. That way we know which type of booking this is. Okay, so we have an event set up. If you want to, down the line, you can create more options such as mini sessions. You can see that we have here one for seniors, and we'll display how that works. What that is using the availability for a custom date range. That's the biggest difference, and you can set that up when you create new. You can choose custom date ranges. And when you select that, you can then choose an option for, we're just going to make a family session one real quick, family sessions. And then you'll get to the add date section. So this is where you can create all the custom dates and times that you want for a session type. So if say we have an event that's coming up this weekend for it, we'll select that. And then you can add more dates if you want to. Or maybe if you know you need to add like a break in between that, you can do that here as well. So we're going to go from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then resume at 2:30 till 7. So now we know there's a break in between that, so you get to have a little time for the event. And you can select more dates if you need to for it. But we're just going to do it for a single day. Then of course select an image for it. And then any other availability automations that you want to enable, we're going to go ahead and turn on that in the testimonial. And then we'll put mini sessions. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now we need to make sure that this is populated on the front end of our website. Let's click on website, and then you're in the website builder area. Okay, so let's go ahead and create some custom landing pages. We have some booking pages created here, but let's create some unique ones. I'm going to go ahead and click new page, and then click page. Here you can either start with something blank, but I'm going to go over to others and select our booking option directly here and customize it. We're just going to call this one family sessions. We're going to select that. I'm going to remove these photos since we want to make it more family oriented. We're going to select a couple images to represent it. There we go. So now they'll rotate. And then we can add our scheduled event here. Now what's nice about this is we can create it to where it either displays one or all or multiple. So I'm going to make it show off the two that we have available. We want to have the family session, which they can book anytime, and then we're going to set it up where they can have the family mini session, and they can see the choices available. So what's nice about this is, you see we've already customized this pages. Now they have the choice between either selecting the one anytime they can book. So they're going to go to the mountains. How about that? And then they can see the dates available for that booking of that type. Oh, and I can get a coupon too. But you can see the dates available for these types of booking is available here. They can select which one they want. They can fill out those details. Add the cart, and then if you have a coupon code, you can add that here. And you see 20 now, that coupon code that they've been sent through the retention factor to book with you. We just put it in there, and there's our 20% off. Look at that. So they can check out and save money with you based on that automated email that they received with that promo code in there. So if you're already trying to get that retention factor for them to book with you, you can do that. So you can see how the scheduler and everything works together. So if they've gotten a previous client gallery or maybe a testimonial or a, hey, would you like to book again? This is some way you can keep all this going in circles for retention factors. Or their friend can do this and save as well. So they got that, we've got that booking, and then they would pay for it. Now, if they go the other route, they can select here, choose the session. You can see we only are doing it for one day, and they can choose their time and put in their information directly here too. So it really comes down to choice of what you want and how many types of sessions types. Now, if you don't want to have it like this where they choose between the two, you can go to modify the page how you want to. So I'm just going to copy this page. We're just going to say alternative. And for this session type, for the original page, I'm just going to enable the header and footer because we want that one to live on our website. That way they can see this here, right? So we want that available, and that way they can go through it that way if they need to navigate anywhere. But the other one is great if you need it for your emails or anything like that because you can keep them funneled in. So the funneling process for the alternative option, maybe you're just doing one session type and it's just the mini sessions. So I'll go ahead and remove these two. I'm going to choose a different layout. I'm going to select square, single item. I'm going to then select our appointments and family mini session. So now this one's only available. Now when they come to this page, it's more like a landing page experience. So anything from ads, social media, or automated emails or email marketing campaigns, you can funnel them directly to here to book, and there's no nothing to deter them. And they can see the promo codes here as well. So if they need to as well, they can do that there. Click schedule, they can pop it in, and then they can start booking. And they've booked. There you go. So you can see how you can create different experiences when it comes to scheduling with the automation in tandem. Now, there's another piece of the CRM that you can connect before you finalize everything. So you can see we also have our forms. Now the forms are unique because this is where you can create really customized options for people. So it could be a contact form, session types are directly here as well, events, contracts, applications, newsletter signups, you name it. Anything here can kind of be created through this. So maybe you need to make a 5-minute booking session. You can do that directly here. See? You can create all those types available here. So maybe you need something short like that. Just create a very simple one. What's nice here is, you can see things that are required. You can make certain things unrequired if you want to, making them optional. You can add a tag, and tags are great, especially if this form is going to be on our family session page. So we'll know how to create that funnel for those customer types. And then you can start adding other options. You can see over here in the form section, you have options for adding a title, text block, short answers, paragraph, radio buttons. This is where they get to select one option out of the options that you give them. Drop down menu works kind of like the radio, but it comes down in a drop style versus buttons. Checkbox gives them the opportunity to choose multiple options. Date allows them to select date options, time options, email, phone, address, dividers, another text option. And then you have the option for like collecting their information. The most important ones that you'll want to collect is their full name and email. The phone is optional if you want to, but billing address, shipping, work, birthday, company, all that information can be stored in the CRM. And then miscellaneous options you can add. Say you're creating a digital contract, you can select digital contract signatures. You can add a video directly here. You can add upload options if you want them to submit files. And if you want them to submit a payment, we're going to go ahead and add that option as well. And if you need to rate anything. So we know we're going to create a form where we need them to fill out payment information. So we're going to go ahead and modify that. So we're going to go ahead and create a merchant, make sure we have one. We have a pay in person, but we're just going to create one for PayPal real quick. That's a fast and easy one. So I'm just going to put information, send it to my email. There we go. And it's active. Now we'll go back over to our form. We're just going to charge $200, and it's for any session type that we have, okay? So we have that ready. That's good, yes? Okay, so we have this ready here, and then you can start modifying things. If you don't need a message, you can remove that. If you need to add options, you can totally do that here. So we're gonna go ahead and create a couple different options. We're gonna let them choose which type of session. Say if they didn't want to do it through a scheduler, they could do it through here. So we have those options. When you give them the radio option, you can then create other options for that. So let's go ahead and look at the advanced settings. So in studio, we're gonna make free, but if they want to shoot at these other locations, mountains was 20, we're gonna do that. And then ocean was 40. There we go. Now, if we're making these like options for like mini sessions or anything like that, or maybe there's certain specific products, you can add quantity options as well. Say like there's only 5 options for this. You could add a quantity of that if you wanted to. But it really comes down to what you're adding as a customization option. Since we're keeping it basic, we just wanted to have this. Now we can add little customization options such as maybe a checkbox. Here we can add additional so you can make it where they have add-ons. So maybe you're giving them wardrobe changes. Extra time. Explore locations. Maybe you want to go allow them to explore locations like going out to eat and stuff like that. So you can give them something like that. So what's nice about this is you can link this to, say, maybe in the mountains or ocean options only. So we can go back up here and we can look at our form now. See, it's here available, but we don't want that to be visible yet. So let's go back to our form. So we can click on Advanced for our family session section. For mountains, we can add a conditional field. So we want the add-on option to be conditional. And same thing for oceans. So only if they make that option available. See, it's not available, but if they click here, now they'll see those options. But if in studio, they won't. Only if they select mountains or ocean. Now, what's nice about this is where you can customize other things too. So maybe you want to add cost to those. So wardrobe changes, we'll make that an additional $20. If they want extra time, that's an additional 100 hours. And if they want to explore, we're going to make, a night night on the town for them, $250. So you take them out to eat after you do your session. You can show them around town. If you want to do something fun like that with them, I've seen experiences become more like that. So if you want to take them out town and show them the location, since you know it so well, maybe you want to take them to your favorite restaurants, let them explore. I've seen some people do these new exploration days for sessions, which is really fun. You become like a guide at the same time. Okay, so you can see now when they select ocean, they can then add on options, and you can see the price increases with that. So what started out as a $200 session, if you allow other options, I mean, it could turn into a $600 day. Wouldn't that be fun? And then they fill out all their information. They can sign it, and then you can create some other options after this. So maybe we haven't let them select which date yet. Well, let's make it where it can be automated. How about that? So we know this day. We're going to send them directly over here to our family mini sessions, but we don't want a payment option since they're going to pay on the form side. So let's go to our scheduler. We're going to copy this family session one. We're going to call it family fun session. How about that? There we go. So we got a family fun session. We're going to remove payment. It's booking only because they've already paid. So we're going to make that there. Save. Make it $0. Then save. There we go. Now we're going to go back to our form. We're going to go to the schedule surface. We're going to go back to our page. We're going to modify this one. We only want this one to be for the family fun session. We allow that to be there. It's $0. They don't have to worry about it. We can also make sure that anything like that, if it comes in at $0, that way they don't get freaked out. You can go to general. You can hide the price until it's greater than 0. How about that? I'm going to do that. So we'll go back to here. We'll go back to our forms. So then when they book, we're going to take the URL here. We're going to copy it. And we're going to go back to our form. Once they fill out all this information, once they make a payment, we can make it where it sends us an email, it sends them an email. We're going to go ahead and enable that. We're going to give them a custom confirmation page. So once they fill it out, it'll pop them over here to book right away. But if they don't do that, we're going to give them the link as well in the email. So we're going to give them this link, right? So we're going to say, thank you for contact you shortly. So now it's going to send them there, and it'll go into a new window. There we go. We're going to save. And now when they fill this out, it's going to trigger directly to there. So this is really nice. I'm going to, just for purposes of this, I'm just going to remove the payment option so you can see what it looks like. So they go through here, select what they want. I'm going to let them choose studio or mountains. We're going to do that. Then it would be a $20 add-on. And they go through all the payment options. If they need to leave a message and then a signature. And then once they click send, it pops them right over to this session type. So then they can see right here which selection they're going to choose from, right? And then go from there. So then they can schedule directly here the event, and then you have it all booked together, keeping that automation going, because guess what? We have this already tied to our email automations. And then this will flow into our client gallery once that is set up. And then that'll go into their invoicing if we have any additional invoicing that we need to charge them for. So it becomes this fluid thing that's constantly showing itself, rebooking itself, sending the clients testimonials, and then hopefully getting new customers within there. So you can set it up that way, and it all connects directly back to the CRM. So you can see, let's go to me, you can see all the tags that I'm associated with. So you can see I have signed up for a newsletter. I am now part of the mini sessions. I filled out a family session contact. All that is tied to me. The phone numbers, all that information stored here. You'll also be able to track anything else like submissions. You can see I've submitted to this this contract that has been signed, and anything else. Client galleries, if I've done anything there, any appointments that I've booked, you can see I've booked an appointment. And then you'll also be able to see any email automations that have been triggered out to me yet. Nothing has been sent to me yet, but it's there. And that's how you keep the automation portion of your business going, so you do not have to worry about all the heavy lifting. It's very, very fast, very flexible, and it's just going to get easier and better as time goes on. PhotoBiz is continuing to update this product as we go into 2025 and into the future. So look forward to more automations that we can enable for you as time goes on.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining today's session on maximizing client retention. It's time to take action. To automate your workflow, need help with email marketing, ready to simplify scheduling? With PhotoBiz, you have all the tools you need to create an incredible client experience that keeps people coming back. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat or reach out to our support team. We're always here to help. And if you're ready to start implementing these strategies today, visit photobiz.com to explore our features and take your business to the next level. Thank you for joining our masterclass, and we'll see you next time.